Okay, y'all. So today I finished like another chapter. I'm on like idea five. I guess another idea five. Cause you never like somebody else to come back and be like, "No, woman, this is horrible." So anyway, for some reason, I was looking at like the techniques of Alarian therapy. I do not know if these techniques are correct because my iPad just like came up today, and I'm on a different Wi-Fi, so it's like on the Wi-Fi from the library, like you can only like get so many songs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a block on a lot of the stuff that you could get. So today I actually looked it up on my iPad, and it's just like I got the techniques. I don't agree with everything, so I did put that in there, but that's it. So today it's like all about raising your consciousness. So I was thinking that you could combine three things. It'll be the 5 stages of grief, the Adlerian therapy technique, and then also research. So, um, if you really look at it, you're going to really start with the Adlerian therapy technique. So, what it starts with is encouragement. And with the encouragement, it's like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that is like driving me to want to go through this therapy or whatever? Like, what are these feelings? What is this? Because it'll be like the leading part of it is like fear, ignorance, confusion, and insecurities. So, like, let's start with like if I want to do this for insecurities, it's like, okay, well, I'm here because I just don't feel good doing this or whatever at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all this stuff. So, what it is like the first thing that is like important in Alarian therapy is like you value the client. Because somebody can come to you and be like, I feel racist or I feel sexist because of this, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be this type of person. And if the person can acknowledge that they are that type of person, that is the best thing. Like I was telling you guys about the guy that I met at the art museum where he didn't realize that he was greedy. And it's like, well, he can't really successfully go through this therapy because he has not recognized that he is greedy. But if he really went in there and said, hey, I really want to get help for this, I want to get help for being a manipulator, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever, it's like you have to actually value that that person wants help. You understand? It's like even if the traits come back, you still need to value that this person needs help. So next is demonstrating concerns for clients through active listening. You have to listen, and it's like you have to be that type of therapist where you can. If you can't listen, I remember I was in college. I was just like, white people do this and white people do that, and it's a white therapist, and she's like, you need to go see a different therapist. So she sent me to a black therapist, and I'm like, white people do this and white people do that, and the therapist is like, I don't know what to tell you, girl. You know, like it is like so, and then she wasn't even like a person that would deal with that either. Like she's like, I don't want to hear you talk about white people all day. I mean, black and white therapists. So it's just like, so the first therapist is offended, and the second therapist is like, you need to get over yourself. You know, you have to get over it. And so it's like, it did. The color wasn't what mattered. It was just the topics that I was speaking of. So that was it. It's like, um, just because a therapist of a different color or the same culture does not mean that they are ready to hear what you have to say. Next thing is focusing on client strengths and assets and abilities. So it's like, even though this person was like a manipulator that I met, he's a good salesman. You understand what I'm saying? He could tell a good story. So it's like if this person came and was like, I need help, it's good to help him because he can tell a good story. You know what I'm saying? That is like so it's like, let's use this to do something else. Don't steal and make money. Just try to make some money. You know what I'm saying? Respect and empathy for the client. You have to understand their background. Like, where did you get this from? Is your father a hustler? Was your mother a thief? You know, it's like you gotta really understand where this person is coming from. Helping clients informing perceptual alternatives for discouraging fictional beliefs and oppressive narratives. Like he kept saying that he could take this piece that was Basquiat's and sell it. And it's like, that's not something you can do, honey, because that's oppressive. You need to, if that's Basquiat's, that belongs to his family. It can't belong to you. That's why they can't tell you that that's something that you can do, because that's for his family. Like, you have no right to his estate. You have no right to any art that he has created. You have no right to make money off that. So it's like, that you have to actually tell that person, hey, you got to be clear and cut on what that is and how it is, and now you got to get over it. You see what I'm saying? Because in this, I'm going to tell you how you go through stages of grief, and you go through anger. So it's not, it's not something where you can say that this is just again based on race. This is actually just based on personality. You see what I'm saying? It can't. It's not always that way. It's actually based on personality. It's based on the creature that God has created, or you see what I'm saying, or this family has created. Next, communicating, helping clients distinguish between who they are and what they do, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like if this man would look at himself and see himself as a salesman, first off, he can see himself as an art buyer. You see what I'm saying? It's like, or an art seller, as opposed to he's a manipulator. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, you're a salesman and you're a good storyteller. You're not a manipulator. You come across as a manipulator because you're overbearing. You come across as a manipulator because you might be a little bit too aggressive. You come across that way because you're stealing. And so it's like once you get all those situations addressed, now we can look at the person. Communicating affirmations and appreciation to clients, and that's it. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta move through the therapy and be appreciative of who they are. You understand? Because I'm for real. If you got a good manipulator friend that'll help you get what you need to get, you're not going to actually be like down in the dumps about it. But if you got a friend that can help you sell more things, because that's the thing. If it's just manipulation, you're only gonna get something one time. But if he becomes a salesman, he can continue to get stuff, and his, you know what I'm saying, or people will continue to be around him, and then it's like the quality of his life goes up. So it's like really in some of these situations, people think because they got over or they got something, it's like, oh my God, this is it. I hit the jackpot. And it's like you haven't hit anything. Because if you had a better quality of life, you will have more than what you think you would. So that's it. Like it's like that first step is the encouragement. Once they go through the encouragement, then it's a style of analysis. And this is like the first. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My Y's, because I was using this keyboard, I haven't actually corrected the spelling in here right now. But the Y's are Z's and the Z's are Y's. I don't know. I was trying to fix it. I was trying to play with it. I'm playing. I'm being creative. But I'll change it before I print the book. So anyway, when you're looking at the style analysis, style of life analysis, this person is saying this is the type of life I want. So he's like, well, I want to be a salesman. I want to own a furniture store. You see what I'm saying? And I want to be in business with this person or whatever. You see, I want to deal with art or whatever. Like, so this person, you look at what they want, like what they're saying to you, and what you see. And so sometimes what they're saying and what you see are two different things. So it's like, okay, well, what path can we do to create this for you? Like, who do you know? How do you get there? What is it that you want? Are you going to manipulate the person? Does that person have a relationship with you? You want to make sure that whatever they saying, you want to keep the other person safe. You see what I'm saying? Because this person this person could be dangerous. So it's like in this situation, when you look at the style of life analysis, you want to create a plan that's going to be healthy for the person that they are seeking out, or the situations they are seeking out, and for themselves. You see what I'm saying? So next, after that, you have the hypothesis interpretation. It's a segue into the first step of dealing with grief, which is denial. So the question that Alan asked, this is when I don't agree, is how would your life be different if you no longer had this problem? And it's almost like it could be sound like it's blaming. So, people might get angry because sometimes that's what happens. And it's like, well, I was thinking you could formulate different questions because this is for different types of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe that's not my problem. Like, he might not think he's a manipulator. You see what I'm saying? Maybe he still just thinks he's a salesman and a good storyteller. So it's like, well, is that really a problem? You know what I'm saying? Like so we can have to touch on something else. So it's like, what steps can you take to work through this first? Can you research where the source of your confusion came from? That is not a true statement. Can you research the culture more? Like when he's saying that he could be a part of a Basquiat's estate, you cannot be. Can you research that more? You see, because that's a manipulator. Like you're trying to get over in some type of way and people are tired of you. Why is this particular issue making you feel insecure? You see, like I told y'all about how I had that student, I didn't feel like I could discipline her correctly. So it's like, okay, how did that make me feel insecure? I have to get over it. So you get angry because you have to actually get over it's not that you don't like yourself. It's just that you have to be honest with yourself. So you have to get over the feelings of being honest with yourself about your family, your friends, yourself, everything else. It's like you actually said, "Hey, I sinned, so now I got to get over it." You see what I'm saying? In this journey, you may feel anger, and that's what I'm telling you. And because that's what happens on the path to forgiveness. Next in the stage of acting as if, this is when you have reached the window of tolerance, like when you have actually settled into it, because sometimes it's quick to get over. If you're really honest with yourself, you'll be like, oh, I was wrong, I see I was wrong. And you'll be like, okay, I think I'm there. I accept who I am. I accept who I am. So it's like in the window of tolerance, that's what you're doing. You take in this anger, and you actually going past depression to acceptance, because you were there to talk it through with somebody. So it's not like you gotta sit and sob about it. Even though you angry, it's like, wait a minute, I see now what you're saying. I see exactly what's going on. I see that this is true. I see this is what I have to do to work through this. So it's like when you get to acting as if, or the bargaining stage of this, it's like that's when you reach that window of tolerance. When you get to the final step, the push button therapy or the push button technique, you still in the window of tolerance. It's like you have reached this point where everything is kind of leveled out, and now you can start seeing yourself back and being like, okay, this is what happened. This is where it went wrong at. You see, so the first part of this therapy is like a huge part, because that's where everything went wrong. And then when you start to accept, or when you start to bargain with yourself or reach your window of tolerance, when you open your own bullshit, that's when you start to be like, okay, yeah, now I can see. So you can either, I wouldn't say act as if, I'm going to say bargain, because that's a situation where you see yourself in a hopeful situation. You see what I'm saying? So when you see yourself in a hopeful situation, get into the hopeful situation. That's how you move into the push button technique. And it's like, that's something where you get a chance to like move through it easy. Like I just put down, hey, that's your window of tolerance. This when you just like, this is a perfect spot for me. This is the smoothest spot for me. Y'all see, it's like this is where my life is starting to begin. This is where I start to see change and things happen. And you might go back to anger, because sometimes it might not change as quickly as you think it would. Just because you are on a path to healing doesn't mean that everybody around you is healed. You understand? So it's like sometimes you'll be like, oh man, I'm still hurt. But can you move? Can you move out of town? Have you researched other things to do? That's why the third part, the research, is so important. The research is like the biggest part of everything, because it's like, what if I don't like this type of person? What if I don't like that type of person? If you do a little more research, or you go to the neighborhoods, you can go shopping there every once in a while, you'll find out it's not as bad as what you thought it was. That is the rumors and the words that you say and the pain that comes with you, that shows that this area is like, it's not what you thought it was, for real. For every 10 negative things you say, you'll find 20 that are better. So that's it. Anyway, that's it. It's Shante, Brown Sugar Talk on the Black Unicorns, telling you to raise your race consciousness. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the website too. But that's it. Yeah, that's it for today. Have a good day.